The reason that the majority of people don't try to overthrow and challenge the small minority of oppressive elites is because of three reasons. First one is tragedy of the commons. In theory, we'd all love to overthrow the elites, and we also know that pretty much everyone else would also love to overthrow the elites. Perfect, right? Wrong. We're still nervous that we would be the one to take action and everyone else would be fearful and not take action. Therefore, we would be the odd man out and we have to suffer the consequences because of this. And so, tragedy of the commons tells us that we're going to act out of our own best self interest, which means not taking any action. The second is that the elites have established very complex socioeconomic systems that are multifaceted in ways that most of us cannot comprehend. And because we don't fully understand it, we cannot navigate it to break down these systems. And the last and most obvious reason is psychological conditioning. They push their desired agendas through things like the media, the education system, which they own, to make us believe that we are divided. It's left versus right, men versus women, it's whites versus blacks. We're constantly in a state of battle against each other that we're too busy to realize that the actual enemy is them.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Terrence Carter. TC Talks, TC Fitness, and I'm glad to hear my people back at it again with another video. I have many different things on my mind that I do want to express to y'all, and this video doesn't really have any real topic because it's different things that I'm going to talk about in this video. First thing I want to talk to you guys about is we see all the things that's going on with the list that they put out, and the corruption and the people that's been doing these outrageous things. Allegedly, I have to say that. And I want to say this, bro. If you're one of these individuals that's not speaking up about it, you're not saying nothing, you're just turning a blind eye to it, you are a part of the problem. So many people are afraid to express how they truly feel because we've been so programmed with fear, right? But how would you feel if that were one of your family members that went through that? How would you feel if that was you that went through that? These are one of the reasons why I constantly tell you guys to not idolize nobody in this human experience. Because a lot of these people are so corrupted and so brainwashed that all they want is the power, the harvesting of the energy. They thrive off of low vibrational activities. They thrive off of seeing people suffer. And we have a nation of people that's finally waking up and understanding different things and seeing the truth for what it is. And I feel like the world is going through a big spiritual awakening. But the thing that doesn't sit right with me is that nothing has happened to these people. The people that have done the damage, they're still walking around like everything is okay. That doesn't sit right with me. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the divide and conquer tactic that they continue to use on us. Sometimes we don't even know who they are. Nobody knows how these people look. Nobody knows who these people are that run the media. Nobody knows who's behind the scenes, but we know that these people exist. We've been so divided as a nation that they've conquered us in many different ways, bro. A lot of us don't realize that love, unconditional love, is the highest vibration and the highest frequency that somebody can live on. You'll walk past somebody that's struggling. You'll walk past a person that's lacking something or lacking things in life, and you wouldn't care to ask them if they're okay because majority of people lack empathy for other human beings. As long as it doesn't affect you, you're not going to care. Humans treat the homeless people like crap, as if they're not human as well. And you can sit there and say, well, they did something to get themselves in that situation, but you never know what people truly been through. You don't know. Now, I'm not talking about the people that strung out on drugs, and I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the everyday people that we see that you would never know. There might be some people that you work with at your job that's sleeping in their cars, and you won't know. You see, you never truly know the battles that people are truly facing, bro. Because you're of course you got to pay attention to your own life, but treat people with respect. Treat people with kindness. Have some dignity for the human race. I was about to say for humanity, but you guys know what I'm saying. I don't come on here and try to act so super duper perfect. You know, my life isn't perfect. Am I appreciative for what I have? Absolutely. I show gratitude every day. But I know that I want to do more for humanity. And as long as the Most High God blesses me with the abundance, I want to start looking out for the less fortunate. Because I have a big heart. And of course, I got to make sure I'm okay first. I got to put my mask on first before I try to save somebody else. But that's why I said, God blesses me with the abundance. You understand what I'm saying? The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is all right, so many people are going through different spiritual awakenings. We see the fact that the world is shifting, right? They're trying to replace the majority of people with artificial intelligence. They're taking away people's jobs, which then messes with their livelihoods, which then puts them in a state of fight or flight. Majority of the masses don't have financial literacy, nor do they know how to invest the money because they were never taught that. People that work in a job, majority of us not making enough money. It's like we're playing a game that's not beatable. Time is our real currency. Time is something you can't get back. So as I continue to live my life, I'm focused on making better decisions with my time and making sure I'm not settling in my human experience and my reality, because I consciously am aware of the fact that I don't want to be a slave to the system. I don't want to continuously trade my time for fiat currency that they then devalue based off of inflation and the cost of living rising. No, I'm not trying to sound like a lazy person. But yes, I am trying to free myself from working for somebody else. Anything can happen to you and they will replace you just like that, as if you never existed. Yesterday, I was out there working, and this is probably the coldest day we done had all year. It felt like negative 14 degrees, and I'm working, and I felt myself raging because I'm like, I don't have to do this to myself. And I catch myself going through these spurts of like, bro, there's more to life than this, than what we're doing. Them people at the job don't care about you. They care about the numbers, the metrics, the bonus. They don't care about you as an individual. Why do you keep putting yourself through this? Money itself is everywhere. You have the inner genius within you. You can sell products to the masses of people. You can create things that people that'll add value to people's lives, bro. You don't have to keep trading your time for low wages thinking that we're gonna get rich off of this. No, we're not. Yes, the brain likes to keep you safe, but the mind and the spirit wants to be free. Your soul wants to be free, bro. You feel like you caged at a job that you really don't enjoy. You're there to make money, but at the end of the day, there's plenty of other ways to generate income. We don't have to keep putting ourselves through these invisible chains. Because you can tell when you're being programmed by a job. You can tell when you're settling for the getting paid every 2 weeks system. I've never met a person that worked a 9 to 5 job that got ultra rich and ultra wealthy, bro. I still didn't meet them. Have I been doing better with investing? Absolutely. Do I see money differently? Absolutely. Is saving gonna make me rich? Absolutely not. But I know that I could bet on the underdog. I'm the underdog, bruh. As long as I keep showing up day in and day out, working on my business, working on myself, grind it out, do the Uber Eats, so I got some income, put some money in the markets, put some money into real estate, so I generate cash flow. I can figure this thing out, bruh. Because I value my time and I value myself. And I owe it to myself to not settle. Y'all can settle if y'all want to. Y'all can work for somebody for 25, 30, 40 years if y'all want to. That's up to you. But in my reality and my human experience, I'm not settling for working for the man, bruh. I do what God asks me to do, bruh. I'm connected to the source. Do you understand how much power that is internally? Being connected to the higher power, to the higher source, bruh. Connecting with your higher self. We've been so programmed to live at our low vibration. Majority of people can't connect with their higher self. You smoking, you drinking, you partying, you running away from your problems instead of solving them. We all problem solvers, bruh. Cause that's all life is gonna bring you. It's different problems. You gotta figure it out. You gotta solve it. You can't run away forever. Cause where you gonna run to? There's nowhere to go. And that's one thing I learned from. I listened to an interview with Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent. And he said, I had nobody to run to. Where I'm gonna run to? Myself? Probably butchered it, but he said something like that. And that always sits in the back of my mind, bruh. Nobody's coming to save you. It's crunch time in America, bruh. Once again, it's many people working full-time jobs, still not making it out here. You got some people that's driving, right? You got some people that's already been setting themselves up years ago. So they're reaping the benefits. They're reaping the benefits. But at the end of the day, it's like we gotta move with a strategy. We gotta have that urgency to want more, because working full-time, getting paid scraps, and repeating that cycle, majority of these jobs is keeping the people broke. And I'll be the first one to say it. As much as you pay to the GOV, which is cringe, and that's another subject, as much as you pay with the cost of living, and I'm not complaining about money, because money is everywhere. It's abundant, it's infinite. But the way that the people basically give their life away to the corporations, that's the time you can't get back. Sometimes you got to sit down and think and move differently. We got to be willing to save our generation and the next generation, or else They're going to be indoctrinated and programmed just like us. And that's how these people that we don't even know how they look, that's how they keep the control. So America, just start preparing, because it's not going to get any easier. Like the video if you want to. Subscribe if you want to. Leave some comments. Appreciate y'all.